Well, welcome back, folks. I know it's been a while since I've done a video. It's been 4 or 5 months, and thought it'd be about time. As you can see, my buddy Pete's back, and it's been 4 or 5 months, I think, since you were here last week.
Yes,
in June. This is late October 2023. So Pete was here early last summer, and we went to a little scooter show south of here with another buddy of mine, a friend of mine. But he's back, and today we're going to putt around the shop a little bit today, and we thought we'd shoot a video because it's been a while. And in fact, Pete has a project that we're going to work on. He brought specifically along for us to see if we can't figure this out. So I'll turn it over to Pete and let him talk about the project we're going to be working on the next day or so. So Pete.
Thank you for having me back, Kelly. And this is what we're going to be working on. We have a speedometer from a 1972 Suzuki TS125, and the trip reset knob has broken off. So what we're going to have to do is see if there's a way that we can reattach the shaft back into the bolt that goes on the inside to reset the odometer, and see if we can figure out how to do that.
So what we're going to do here is we're going to go over to the bench and we'll set up an overhead shot, and we'll take apart, Pete will take apart the speedometer a little bit here in the pieces, and we'll take you through in a little more detail what our thinking is in terms of our approach to repairing this trip odometer. So we'll go over the bench and reset up.
So this is what we will be working on, the speedometer, obviously, for the TS125. And as you can see, we've got a broken trip meter. Here's the piece that broke off, and we're going to try and repair using this type of plastic rod. I believe it's called Delrin, and see if we can make a new rod to attach it inside the speedometer. So to take the speedometer apart, we take off this chrome trim ring, and there is a lip that goes around the edge of the speedometer that holds the plate on, which we have already taken off. You use just a sharp X-Acto knife or a carpet knife or a box cutter. It cuts very easily, and just take off the ridge. So then we also will just pull this apart, and you can see the inner workings of what we're going to try and repair. This is where the shaft goes on, and where it has broken off, as you can see. So this will be a little bit of a challenge because there isn't a lot to work with, and you have limited space as to how thick of a rod that you can use for repair. I don't know if you can see in the shot here, but it has to go through this housing and connect to the shaft for the trip meter reset. And I'm not sure if you can see in the shot, but the piece that's broken off is still there, and this will, when you push it in, it engages the sprockets inside to turn the tumblers to reset it to 0. So what we have proposed to repair this is we're going to use the rod and drill a hole in the end of it to go onto the shaft, and then we are going to cut the remaining stub of the reset knob onto we're going to cut that off and drill into that the same diameter as the rod that we're using, and put some epoxy on it, and hopefully that will solve our problem. How we're going to go about this is we have to take a measurement of the overall length using the vernier to make sure that we aren't protruding too far outside of the casing, and also that we have to find the proper drill bit that would be comparable to the size of the Delrin rod that we will drill into our reset knob, and hopefully that will adapt so we can have a functioning part again. Now, the reason we're doing this is twofold. One, it's very expensive to replace a speedometer just for a reset, and two, it's always a challenge to find out if we can actually repair something rather than replace it. So that's why I'm in the workshop today, and hopefully learning how to repair the speedometer. After much discussion, we have come to what we hope is the best solution to our problem. What we've got set up here is the reset knob, and what we're going to do is cut the end of the shaft off, the broken shaft, and we're going to face it so we can insert another piece of plastic into it and drill the end so it will fit over the shaft on the speedometer. This seems to be the best solution, the easiest solution. Everything is set up in the lathe now. I've just had a tutorial on how to run a lathe. This is something that is completely new to me. I've never been in a machine shop or worked in a machine shop environment, so there are so many steps to be able to turn a part, or to face a part, or to even use the parting tool and cut off a piece of the part. So we're going to try this to make sure that we have set it up correctly. What we had to do is extend the parting tool out and make sure that it's not going to interfere with the jaws on the chuck, and make sure it's not going to hit the end of the reset knob and possibly damage that. So we've got it set up where we think this should work, and we're going to give it a try and see what happens. So there we have it. The part has been removed. Yes, we probably could have done it with a hacksaw and taken it off that way. But since we are experimenting with the lathe, my first time using it, I think we tried all the tools, and it turned out very well. So now we go on to the next step of drilling the piece to accept the new rod. So this is the final result from all the work that we did machining this Delrin rod, and the final assembly of it. We had to put our adhesive, our epoxy, inside the knob and put the rod inside and hold it so the epoxy would set. And to show you how this all goes together, this is how it fits through the housing, and it attaches to the reset rod, which is this part on the speedometer. And we've come to find out that taking this apart, it's a left-hand thread. So we have made the threads and it fits onto the shaft perfectly. So this will be a fairly easy reassembly once I have cleaned all the innards and re-oiled the gears. So that's our final outcome of our attempt to reconstruct the reset knob on the TS125 speedometer. As you can see, there's multiple parts to it. This is the housing. I'll have to clean the plastic lens for the housing. This is the backing plate where the speedometer drive goes through and attaches to the housing. This is just a trim ring that is part of the appearance package. The two little screws here which hold the backing plate to the speedometer assembly, all going together, and then it will get re-epoxied and sealed to the elements and reinstalled on the motorcycle. So this was all the fruits of our endeavor, and I think it turned out perfectly.
Well, it's the second day, and we finished the little project Pete just shared with you, the conclusion. He'll have to take those parts home now and finish the cleaning and lubing and reassembly as he mentioned during his little shot there previous. So that project is done, and we consider this project a wrap at this end as far as what we can do in my shop. So Pete will be going home later today, and then get on with the next stage is getting his little speedometer for Suzuki. It's a 72 model, right?
Correct.
72 is the orange model with a white stripe on the tank. Get that back together on the bike. So that's going to be it for this video today, folks. Again, I know it's been a while since I posted a video, probably close to 6 months, and we thought it would be interesting for people to follow along on this one. I'm not done making videos for YouTube, but the reality is that I spent the last 10 or 12 years going from project to project to project to project, and with really no break in between, and I a little bit OD'd on the whole thing and wanted to take a little break. I had some other things I wanted to focus on at home and etc. So I'm just taking a break from the action. I haven't quite finished the TS50. It's 80-90% complete. I will be circling back around to that eventually and finishing that project off. And I want to move on to the Kawasaki 350 Bighorn, which I'm going to prepare for sale because I'm going to move that bike on. That'll probably be the project after I finish the TS50. And then I actually have a lathe that I think I'm going to do something different that I want to restore. It's a South Bend lathe, a heavy 10, for those of you that know what that means. And that will probably be my next restoration project because I'm going to take a break from just motorcycles. So when am I going to be back with videos on the TS50? I don't know. Whenever I get around to it, maybe this winter. Again, it's fall, autumn of 2023 here. Actually, it's the end of October. Maybe this winter, we'll see. I'm in no rush. I'm just taking a breather. That's going to be it for this video today, folks. Appreciate you tuning in and seeing what Pete and I are up to in the shop. And as usual,
thanks for watching.